Today I have Kaitlin with me from Calgary, and we are going to go head to head on what can you get in Edmonton or what can you get in Calgary. So you're going to want to watch this video. Hi, this is Melody Wilson with the Real Life team powered by Real Broker with my colleague Kaitlin, also with Real Broker in Calgary. And we're going to talk to you about our different cities because obviously we both believe our city is better.
It's definitely better.
So what I wanted to do is talk to everyone today about what you can get. So we're going to talk to you about what kind of home can you get for a certain price range, or what can you expect for price range if you're looking for a certain type of home, the best family neighborhoods in each of our cities, and the most expensive areas in the city in terms of Edmonton versus Calgary. So for Calgary Homes for Sale, I'm going to talk to Kaitlin about this. So Kaitlin, if you're searching 3-bed, 2.5 bath, minimum 2,000 square feet with a double attached garage, what are you getting? Like, what's the lowest price, highest price? And let's go through that and see what we get from Edmonton and Calgary.
Sure. So for Calgary, in the past 60 days, we'll base everything off of that. Lowest sale for a home like that one, where roughly 2,000 square feet, was $440,000, and this was in Ranchlands. It sold in 19 days.
And where in Ranchlands, like in Calgary, where's Ranchlands? North, south, east, or west?
Right. So Ranchlands is the north quadrant.
Okay. Is that area known for more, I don't know, affordable housing?
Yeah, I mean, it differs. Like, they definitely do have some more affordable, fully detached single family homes. So it's a great option for people getting into the market.
Okay. Yeah. So in Edmonton, flip side, so you said 440, right?
Yeah.
So here in Edmonton, same stats, same criteria. We are looking at 370,000 in Dunluce, which is also north side of Edmonton. Yeah. And it is more of the affordable range. It's not really the quadrant that I necessarily refer to my clients, but it is definitely more affordable and older home. Like, what kind of house was this? Was this an older home? Do you know?
Good question.
I'm just looking at the stats on our side here. So for the $370,000 property, it was built in 1979 and it was 2,800 square feet. So pretty big. It was only on the market for 3 days. So that's an interesting, I mean, I have never even heard of a home that big in that side of Edmonton. So interesting. Now, when we flip over to the other side, what is the most expensive home that sold in the last 60 days in that same criteria?
So most expensive home in that criteria was a beautiful bungalow in Elbow Park, and it was located right on the Elbow River. That one sold in 17 days for $1.9 million.
In the last 60 days, which is interesting because usually Calgary is more expensive, but for some reason, Edmonton decided to pull in for the win on this one. And we had a property sell in Glenora. So most people do know about Glenora. It's centrally located in Edmonton, older historic kind of homes close to downtown. Sold for $2.7 million, and it's a 2.5 story that was about 3,400 square feet.
Wow.
So that's something we usually are always lower, but that house was on the market for 152 days.
Wow. Yeah, this was a pretty quick sale. Shockingly, it was a little bit smaller square footage. It was only 2,300 square feet, but definitely gets its price point from its location being so close to downtown and on the river.
Right. So in the last 60 days in this criteria, how many homes sold in this price point? We had 226 sold in Edmonton. What about Calgary?
Calgary in this price range in the last 60 days had 105 sales.
So that's interesting too, because the Edmonton real estate market usually follows Calgary.
Yeah.
So if that's true in terms of that fact of us following your market, you seem to have had a slower last 60 days than Edmonton has. So maybe that's what's happening in Edmonton's market, because we tend to see our market kind of follow after yours. So I guess we'll see how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
The areas in Calgary, what are the areas that people are tending to buy these types of homes?
Realistically all over. Like every neighborhood in Calgary has something different to offer. A lot of them do have these standard 3-bedroom, double attached garage. I would say that's probably what the majority of home buyers are looking for these days. So yeah, realistically, you can find them kind of throughout the city. Like any neighborhood that you're after, typically will have a home in this range.
So average price of the 3-bed, 2.5 double attached garage, minimum 2,000 square feet in Edmonton, it was 594,302. What about for you?
In Calgary, for a similar property, it was 622,500.
Okay. So is there an area in the city that, for example, has more new builds? Because I know for Edmonton, we have the ring road around, and then everything outside of the ring road is like probably the last 10 years or newer, and the older homes kind of go inside the ring. How does Calgary work that way?
Right. So new builds inner city, primarily you're looking at infills for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of infills in the inner city. You can get custom homes on existing lots down there that basically are just brand new, beautiful homes, but majority inner city would be an infill situation. You get to sort of the outskirts, like the lake communities that Calgary has to offer. There's a lot of new builds there, and they range anywhere from super affordable condos with lake access all the way up to luxury properties. So
what are the names of your lake communities?
and we've got Mahogany, which is an awesome lake community, super good family community as well. We've got Auburn Bay. Those are a lot of the south end. And then we've got Arbor Lake on the north end. So definitely no shortage of lakes in Calgary. Shocking.
And we have one lake community in Edmonton. So we have Summerside in southeast Edmonton. But we do also, if you look out in St. Albert, which is like literally feels like Edmonton, 15 minutes away, they have a new one called Jensen Lakes, and that's up at the very north side of St. Albert. But I mean, even up there, their duplexes are $500,000.
Wow.
So it's not necessarily cheaper, I don't think, than Calgary in that situation.
Right.
And St. Albert's known for higher property taxes, whereas Edmonton's in general a little bit lower.
Right.
How are your property taxes? Do you think they're are they more expensive in Calgary than, like, let's say you have like Chestermere and that? I'm assuming Chestermere would be cheaper property taxes.
Yeah, Chestermere is a little bit cheaper property taxes. Once you get out to sort of like rural Foothills County, the property taxes are a little bit higher, but that's typically because you're getting more land. But overall, yeah, I think our property taxes have increased a little bit. I think, is that the same for Edmonton sort of this year?
Yeah, they always go up, right? And I think it's different too. Like when people come here from out of province, we don't have land transfer tax in Alberta, but our property taxes seem to be a little bit of a shocker for some of our out of town clients, because I think their property taxes are actually quite low given how much their houses cost. But then we don't have this crazy land transfer tax. So we were talking earlier about what can you get in Calgary and what can you get in Edmonton for the same price point. So I'm going to share with you, I sold a property in June in Windermere area, and it sold for $395,000. We had it on the market for less than 12 hours before we had a ton of showings, and we had it sold unconditionally. The kind of home it was a detached garage home. It was like a laned home. So the garage is in the back. I can't exactly remember the exact square footage, but I think it was around 1,400 square feet with a double detached garage in the back. The home used to be a show home, but it was actually a little bit older. So it wasn't like all the newest finishings, had a bit of wear and tear, and had a really not great basement. So we priced it accordingly. What could you get for $395 in that same price point? Like what do you end up having?
Right. So I sold one June as well for the exact same price point, $395. This one was a duplex though. So similar home. It was sort of that laned layout with the double garage in the back, but it did have one attached wall to the neighboring home. But this one was fairly new. It was built in 2014. It had 3 bedrooms, all granite, very nicely upgraded inside. Good sized lot, corner lot. Yeah, that would probably be comparable.
It's probably in better condition. I mean, ours was like I would say maybe similar age, but it was rented out. So you could kind of see like the wear and tear. I mean, we did paint and get all that stuff ready, but so then next property, another popular price point in Edmonton is $472. I sold a place in August. It was a bigger home, probably about just over 2,000 square feet, double attached garage in the front. Nice West Edmonton neighborhood, so a desirable area in the city. And it was older. I want to say it was probably 20 years old. And it had dated kitchen, like it had the oak kitchen. But we did some stuff to like spruce it up with the staging to make it look a little bit more appealing. There was some new paint done, some new floors, brand new carpet actually throughout the house that we put in. And the shower in the ensuite actually was missing glass.
Oh.
So we still got $472 for it. And it's close to like a lot of newer amenities because of the neighborhood that it's located in. What about you? Like, what did you sell in August for that similar price point?
Right. So August, yeah, I sold one for $470K. This one was in Woodlands. It was a single family standalone detached property, just like steps away from Fish Creek Park, like perfect location. A little bit smaller than yours. It was like 1,600 square feet, but it had 4 bedrooms with a fully finished basement and a single attached garage. But Woodlands is a pretty sought after area, same with Woodbine. So it was a little bit of an older home, also needed a little bit of work in there, but still fetched a pretty good price point at the 470.
I just realized as you're talking, mine was also finished basement.
Oh, there we go.
I didn't see the neighborhood. It's Glastonbury. So that's a neighborhood also very sought out by families. It's located really close to the ring road and close to amenities. So that's interesting. So like for the same price point, it seems like you can kind of get similar price. Now, how old was the house?
This one was built in 1980, I want to say.
Okay.
Had since
Yeah.
been renovated.
Right. And then ours was built in about, I don't know the exact date. I think it was like 2004 or something. Like it's still a little bit older, but not 1980. So that's the difference there for the price point. So that's interesting. You know what's also interesting as you talk about these neighborhood names, something we talked about as well. Calgary and Edmonton actually have a few communities that have the same names.
Yeah.
So like Edgemont, for example, which is actually a really family-friendly neighborhood in Edmonton.
Same here.
What is Edgemont in Calgary?
Yeah, Edgemont is a very, very family-focused community. Yeah, Edgemont's beautiful. It's becoming increasingly more popular, and that's so funny that you guys have one too.
Well, and Edgemont for us here is actually relatively new. It just started in the last, I want to say 4 years, but I think Edgemont in Calgary has been around a bit longer.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more established for sure.
Yeah. And also there's other neighborhoods. I'm trying to now think. So Bears Paw is a neighborhood in Edmonton. Right. And I know you guys have a Bears Paw, but it's like maybe just a little bit outside of Calgary, right?
Yeah, just on the outskirts there on the way to Cochrane. But oh my goodness, beautiful properties in Bears Paw.
In Bears Paw here, it's still nice, but it's not anything like the Calgary Bears Paw because Bears Paw is located right in the city here. Mature neighborhood. The houses are a little bit more expensive because of the land.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. There are some commonalities. So if you're Googling neighborhoods, careful that you're looking if it's in Edmonton or Calgary.
Look at the Calgary one, not the Edmonton one.
Exactly. Well, maybe not exactly.